When I needed help most, my own family went silent. Not angry, not cruel, just silent. I remember sitting alone in the kitchen that night. The light above the sink was still on. The rest of the house was dark. I could hear the clock ticking on the wall. Tick, tick, tick. I had helped everyone for so many years, without asking questions, without keeping count. I thought that was what family meant. As I sat there, with my hands wrapped around a cold cup of tea, I realized something painful. I had been strong for everyone, but no one had learned how to be strong for me. I didn't cry. I didn't shout. I just sat there, breathing slowly, feeling something heavy settle inside my chest. Silence can be louder than words, and that night, the silence from my own family hurt more than anything they could have said. This is my story. It is not about blame. It is not about anger. It is about giving too much, staying quiet for too long, and finally understanding what love should feel like. I grew up believing that family comes first. That is what my mother taught me. She used to say, even if you are tired, even if you are hurting, family is where you show up. So I did. I got married young. My husband was kind, but quiet. He worked long hours. I worked at home. We built a life slowly, nothing fancy, just enough. When our children were born, my world became smaller and fuller at the same time. School lunches, washed clothes, homework at the kitchen table, late nights waiting for them to come home. I was always there, always listening, always fixing things. If someone was sick, I stayed awake. If someone was struggling, I made space for them. Years passed like that. When my children grew up and married, I welcomed their spouses with open arms. I cooked their favorite meals. I watched their children so they could rest. I never wanted to be a burden. I told myself, if I stay useful, I will stay loved. I didn't know how dangerous that thought was. The changes did not come suddenly. They never do. It started with shorter phone calls, missed messages, "I'll call you later," that never came. When someone needed help, my phone rang immediately. But when I needed something small, there was always a delay. I told myself not to overthink. Everyone is busy, I said. Everyone has their own life. I learned to swallow my needs quietly. One winter, my health began to change. Nothing dramatic, just tiredness that didn't go away. Pain that stayed longer than it should. The doctor told me I needed rest, less stress, more care. I smiled and nodded. At home, I continued doing what I always did. Cooking, cleaning, helping with grandchildren. One afternoon, I asked my daughter if she could take me to a doctor appointment, just once. She paused. Then she said, "I'll see if I can manage." She never followed up. That night, I took the bus alone. I sat by the window and watched the rain slide down the glass. I told myself it was fine, but something inside me cracked just a little. The real breaking point came quietly. No shouting, no fight. I had fallen at home. Nothing serious, but enough to scare me. I called my son. No answer. I called my daughter. No answer. I waited. I sat on the floor longer than I should have. Eventually, a neighbor helped me up. That night, I didn't tell anyone what happened. I realized something then. I didn't want to be disappointed again. Days passed, then weeks. I became quieter. I stopped offering help so quickly. I stopped calling first. And that is when I noticed something painful. Without my constant giving, There was nothing connecting us anymore. No one asked if I was okay. No one noticed my silence. That was the moment I understood. I had taught them to rely on me, not to care for me. It took me a long time to forgive myself. I had believed love meant sacrifice without limits. I had believed my worth came from how useful I was. I began to sit with my feelings instead of pushing them away. Some days were heavy. Some nights were lonely. But slowly, something changed. I started doing small things for myself, sitting in the sun, drinking tea slowly, listening to the quiet. One evening, my daughter finally called. She asked how I was. I paused before answering. Then I told the truth. "I have been tired," I said softly. She was quiet on the line. Not defensive, just quiet. "I didn't know," she said. And maybe she didn't, because I never taught them how to see me. Now I live differently. I still love my family, but I love myself too. I no longer believe that love should cost me my health or my voice. I no longer stay silent when I need help. If there is one thing I have learned, it is this: being strong does not mean being invisible. Helping others should never mean abandoning yourself.